Hey everybody, Dr. Nelson here. This is a video about the graphs of quadratic functions. So the first couple of pages you're going to take notes with me, and then you have a chance to try some problems on your own, and then at the end you can see how you did. Alright, so here we have a quadratic function which is represented with the blue line. And there's really about 4 or 5 key parts to this graph that you need to understand and know where they are. So let's first take a look at the x-intercepts. In this case, they're highlighted in the red. So the x-intercept is when we have a y value of 0. So this location right here is going to be x is 1, 2, 3, and y is 0. So we could say x is 3, y is 0. And this location right here would be x is -1 and y is 0. And these are also called the roots. So anytime you hear someone say the roots of the quadratic, they're talking about the x-intercepts. Alright, let's also now take a look at the y-intercept. Now here it's located in purple. And for the y-intercept, now we have the x value being the 0. So for this location, it's going to be 0. And then the y value is -1, -2, -3. Alright, so we talked about the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts. Now let's talk about the vertex. Alright, the vertex is right at the very, very bottom, or at the top of the graph. So this right here is called a min, because that is the lowest part or the minimum part of the graph. So the location of this vertex is at 1 and then -1, -2, -3, -4. So 1 and -4. And if you notice, right, the vertex, since it's at the bottom, if you draw a line going straight up from the vertex, it splits the graph exactly in half. Okay, and this is called the axis of symmetry. And it makes a straight line, right? So this line, or the axis of symmetry, we could say, is located at x equals 1. And that's the axis of symmetry. So really, this axis of symmetry reflects both sides of the graph. All right, so it really divides it right in the middle. All right, if you turn the page, let's take a look at a couple more graphs. All right, so here we have a parabola, okay? And this time, notice it's now facing downward. It's going down. Let's put arrows here. So let's first find the roots. So the root is going to be here at 0, 0. And then also here at -4 and 0. And again, those are the x-intercepts. Now the y-intercept, I'm going to use a different color. The y-intercept also happens to be at 0, 0. Alright, now let's take a look at the vertex. Now the very, very top of the graph, there's a point right here. Okay? Now the first one, it was called a min, right? Well, this one is called a max, because that is the absolute top of the graph. And that location is -2 and 4. Alright, now that we know the location of the max, we also know the axis of symmetry, right? So that's a line that goes right through the max, straight down like this. And the location of this one is x equals -2. Alright, so we got the vertex at -2 and 4. We got the axis of symmetry. We got our roots. We got the y-intercept. Alright, now let's go on to the final graph. And here we have the function y equals x squared plus 4x plus 5. And if you notice, this function doesn't go through the x-axis, does it? Okay, so there's no roots for this one. So this one, there's no roots. The y-intercept, let me use a different color here. The y-intercept looks like is at 0 and 5. Now this one, we're going to have a min again, right? And the min is right at that point right there. So that location is -2 and 1. And then our line of symmetry is going to be right here. And that location is x equals -2. Alright, so now they understand the key parts of a quadratic function when it's graphed. Why don't you pause the video and try the your turn problem now, and then when you're done, hit play, and you can see how you did. Alright, good luck. Alright, welcome back. Let's see how you did with this practice problem. So here we have a parabola, and it's facing downward. So the vertex is located at -2 and 4. And because it's going downward, we know that this is going to be a max value. Alright, so the location of the max is at -2 and 4. Our x-intercepts, or the roots, are at -4 and 0, and also 0 and 0. Our y-intercept happens to be also at 0, 0. And then our line of symmetry is at the location x equals -2. Alright, how'd you do?